So like I said, when we square this -2, it needs to be in parentheses, and when you're typing it in the calculator, the square needs to be outside exactly as you see it like this, and you're going to get a 4. So that is what goes into this part here. It'll be +4, and then whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So we do a +4 as well. Let me just make it the same color. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to condense this. We're going to go from a trinomial to a binomial. So we're going to say x, because that's what we have here in the blue. And now that's where we go to our star term, and we got a 5/2, and it's actually a positive. So we denote that, or we show that by a plus, and then the star term, which in this case was 5/2. And then we're going to square it. This is a perfect square. So that's the whole purpose of completing the square, is that so you can kind of force whatever it is that you're dealing with to be a perfect square. So that when we expand this x plus 5/2 squared, you end up getting x squared plus 5x plus 25/4 plus, and then we're going to do the same thing for the y variable. We open the parentheses and we have a y variable, and then we say, okay, what was our star term? Well, let's see. Our star term was actually a -2, and that's what we're going to type in, a -2, and we're going to square that. That's y minus 2 squared, is when you expand it, is the same thing as y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals, well, in this case, we're going to go ahead and add all of this up. So we get, let's see, -37/4 plus 25/4. So -37/4 plus 25/4. And then plus 4 gives us 1. So we end up getting 1. So as you can see, this entire equation is in the form of the standard form of a circle, where we can say that the center is, remember, I told you to think of the center as the opposite of a positive 5/2, because let's go back. Why as an opposite? Why as an opposite? Let's go back to this slide right here. This minus in the equation is telling us to take the opposite. That's what a minus is, to take the opposite of it. So that's why we take the opposite of whatever it is when we're looking at HK. So the opposite of positive 5/2 is going to be a negative 5/2, comma, and then the opposite of a -2 is going to be a +2. So my center is at -5/2, comma 2, and my radius is going to be, remember, this right here in the equation, if you look at the slide, and the equation represents r squared. So I have to take the square root of that. So the square root of 1, by coincidence, is still 1. So that's what we're going to get. -5/2, comma 2, and the radius of 1. So that's what we get in this situation here. I know I went through this a little bit quick. So if you have any questions, probably the reason I went through it is because I didn't want to make another video, and I also knew that you go through completing the square in Algebra 2. If you're having any problems with completing the square, I do stay after school until about maybe 3:15, 3:30 at the most, and then I'm here early in the morning at 6:30, so I can definitely try to do go over the steps with you or try to do additional problems. If you're willing to come by after school and ask me for help, just let me know that you're from Mr. Marx's class, and I'll be willing to stay a little bit and help you. If you have any questions in regards to anything else, you're more than welcome to also come and ask me. Other than that, that's it for this section. I believe the next videos Mr. Marks wants me to do for you will be the review for your test on Friday. Thank you.